Hello everyone, welcome to MVP Vishwakosha. Today we are discussing about 18th July 2025 current affairs. In that first point, that is Swachh Survekshan, that is India's annual cleanliness survey, okay, 2024-25 report. That is top winners, that is Indore, has once again claimed the title of India's cleanest city, marking an impressive eighth consecutive win. Okay, very important. Always that Indore has that India's cleanest city. Okay, and also Surat and Navi Mumbai secured the second and third position respectively. Okay, in the Super Swachh League, and also in the million plus category, Indore, Surat, Navi Mumbai topped, while Ahmedabad, Bhopal, Lucknow were recognized as new clean city leaders. Okay, very important. And also other notable city rankings, that is Bhopal earned second place nationally, achieving 7-star garbage free and water certification, though it dump site remediation score fell sharply. And also Lucknow, ranked third among million plus cities, gained a 7-star garbage free status and saw increased door to door waste collection and processing in Uttar Pradesh. Very important. Next is Coimbatore climbed from 35th to 28th, excelling in water bodies, mark sheet, and residential area cleanliness, though it lagged in segregation and toilet maintenance. And also Trichy slipped to 49th among the big city due to poor public toilet hygiene and low waste segregation, and despite strong marks elsewhere. Okay, and also some state level and thematic highlight that Uttar Pradesh was honored as India's cleanest state. Okay, and Panchkula received 100% score for mark sheet and water bodies, but resident reports severe pollution, raising concerns over survey and accuracy. Okay, and Derbesi outperformed Mohali in door-to-door collection 100% and segregation 60%. Okay, very important. This in this contest, a cleanest city and all. That is actually in the methodology. In 2025 survey covered one, that is over 4,500 urban local bodies using a comprehensive 12,500 point systems. Split across service delivery, citizen feedback, direct observation, and certification. Introduction like the Super Swachh League, and also population-based city tiers ensure fair comparison and long-term excellence recognition. Okay, next total that summary, in that we can take that Indore remains unmatched. Okay, clinched its eighth straight title. Very important. Cleanest city means Indore. Other city like Surat, Navi Mumbai, Bhopal, and Lucknow continue to shine with some strong regional leads from cities like Coimbatore. And survey scrutiny is growing, especially where on-ground conditions diverge from reported perfect scores. Example, Panchkula. They revamped the format of the survey, large-scale, stricter methodology, inclusion-based tiers, and shaping more balanced, sustainable urban cleanliness efforts. Okay, very important. That is about recent report and cleanest city and Swachh Survekshan report and all. Okay. Next is about that is. Latest development on US designation, that the resistant front TRF as a terror group. Okay, what is that is that US Department of State officially designated TRF, a Pakistan based Lashkar-e-Taiba proxy, as both foreign terrorist organization, especially designated global terrorist. Okay, this action targets their asset and criminalize US support of the group. And also the driving event was because of that April 22nd Pahalgam massacre in Jammu Kashmir, where TRF claimed responsibility, resulting in 26 civilian deaths, largely tourist. Okay, so that's a reason. And also in this reaction, India's External Affairs Minister, that is Jaishankar, welcomed the move, calling it a strong affirmation of India to US counter-terror cooperation. And also the US House Foreign Affairs Committee also endorsed the designation, stating when you butcher civilians, you don't get a pass, you will get justice. Okay, but in Pakistan, Foreign Minister Ishaq criticized the decision, calling into question the evidence linking TRF to Pahalgam attack. Okay, very important that impact areas that counter terror, impact diplomatic revenge and precedent and all. Okay, important that is US delegation of TRF that will reflect a significant escalation in pressure on cross-border militant networks. It is not only punishes TRF but also seeks financially and operationally undermine. Okay? And also that Lashkar-e-Taiba reach this move strengthen India-US strategic cooperation also. And also will Pakistan response signal a potential geopolitical pushback. Okay, and also want to the research on that about recent report. Okay, that is about recent that TRF designation by US. Okay. Next is about recent, that is Uttarakhand government's move to integrate that Bhagavad Gita into school education. Okay, that is daily Gita slokas in assemblies and all government schools in Uttarakhand. That is 17,000 institutions have mandated the recitation of one Gita sloka every morning. Teachers are required to explain the meaning and even the scientific relevance of the verse. Each week, one sloka is designated as the sloka of the week, displayed prominently in the notice boards and discussed in the class. And also curriculum and inclusion proposal also. In a major policy step, the state government is formally requested NCRT to include the Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana into official school syllabus for the state-run schools. This to it aim to at all 17,000 government schools. Okay, and also in this policy contest broader reforms under the leadership of Chief Minister. The initiative is a part of large educational reform plan emphasizing moral education, cultural heritage, and Sanskrit's Sanatan values aligned with the new education policy 2020. A 10-year roadmap is underway, including infrastructure upgrades, sports NCC program, and hostel expansion. Okay. From this, that teachers' opposition on constitutional grounds, that Teachers Association have raised legal objection, citing Article 28(1) of the Indian Constitution, which prohibits religious instruction in state-funded schools. They warn such mandate could alienate students of the other faith with Uttarakhand secular educational ecosystem. And also that government's justification officially including that is Director of Secondary Education argue that teaching from the Gita are universal moral and philosophical guides rooted in Sankhya philosophy, behavioral science and ethics, not religion. Okay, the aim is to foster leadership, scientific thinking, emotional balance and decision making skills. Very important, that is daily Gita recitation and that textbook integration and policy framework and regarding debate and all. Okay, that is very important. That reflects Uttarakhand's intent to embed Indian philosophical heritage into mainstream education and adds to ongoing national conversations about education, secularism, and religious neutrality in public school. Okay, and also that that is legal implication, that Article 28 and all, very important. It is about recent news that Uttarakhand, that is Gita and Ramayana in schools, very important. Next point about that latest news regarding Prithvi-II and Agni-I missile test by India. Okay, that is Prithvi-II missile test. Okay, that is successful night launch. That Strategic Forces Command SFC of Indian Armed Force successfully conducted a nighttime user trial of Prithvi-II short-range ballistic missile from the integrated test range, that is Chandipur of the Odisha coast. The test occurred on July 17, 2025. Okay, and some key features that Prithvi-II has, that is range is 350 km and payload is capable of carrying both conventional and nuclear warheads, that is 500 to 1000 kg. Propulsion single stage liquid fuel missile and accuracy equipped with advanced inertial guidelines and strike precision. And also, what is the objective is the part of routine training exercise by Strategic Forces Command aimed at validating operational readiness and accuracy. Next is about in that Agni-I missile test. Okay, that is prior to Prithvi-II launch, Agni-I another strategic missile was test fired. Okay, by that SFC from the APJ Abdul Kalam Iceland, that is Wheeler Iceland in Odisha. Okay, Agni-I range is 700 to 900 km, warhead nuclear capable up to 1000 kg payload and propulsion, solid fuel single stage missile. And also purpose, this was to routine user trial, conformity, reliability and consistency in India's strategic runs. Okay, very important that both Prithvi-II and Agni-I missiles, both missiles are very important. Okay, it's about recent that missile test of Prithvi-II and Agni-I. Next point, that is about Gujarat government's Cheetah Translocation initiative to Banni grasslands. Okay, that is a major step in India's project Cheetah. It is Gujarat is now ready to host cheetahs in Banni grassland reserves with the infrastructure like breeding, enclosure, quarantine, and soft release boom, and veterinary facilities, CCTV fence, and that is Chinkara or deer introduction underway. Approximately 600 hectares of enclosure have been developed. So the Central Zoo Authority have approved the establishment of the first cheetah conserving breeding center in Banni in December 2023. So the center is expected to house up to 16 cheetahs sourced from Africa, Namibia or South Africa. Okay, that is the long-term goal, supported free-ranging population once the prey base, that is Chinkara, blackbuck and spotted deer is robust and habitat fully recovered. Okay, that is very important, that is habit restoration, prey support. Overall The first few years, 13,000 plus hectares of Banni grasslands have been restored. Okay, with the drone seeded planting plans aim to restore 70,000 over a decade. Okay, this herbivores restoration 40 plus Tinkaras released black buck breeding in the pipeline also. Spotted deer have been introduced through collaboration with the Reliance Foundation, Vantara. Okay, very important. This effort aims to raise carrying capacity and also eventually support up to 50 to 55 cheetahs as per Wildlife Institute of India. Okay, that will very important. Okay, that is, and also that Maldarni pastoralist community. Okay, worries about the loss in grazing rights and safety. Its predator species are introduced. Okay. That is also an issue, and also why it is matter because Project Cheetah that will following that Kunnao National Park pilot reintroduction in 2022, expanding effort to restore wild cheetahs population in India. Okay, very important that Banni project will serve captive breeding hub, potentially supplying future wildlife sanctuaries like Gandhi Sagar, that is Madhya Pradesh, which is slated to host semi-wild free-ranging cheetahs. Very important, and also project ecological restoration, community engagement, and long-term wildlife planning represent of broader conservation strategies in India. Okay, very important. That is about recent introduction of cheetah and okay to burning grassland and all. Next point that is about that is Praggnanandhaa beats that is Magnus Carlsen on Las Vegas Freestyle Grand Slam. In round 4 of the freestyle chess Grand Slam, that's Las Vegas, 19-year-old Praggnanandhaa stand world number 1 Magnus Carlsen in just 39 moves, knocking him out of title contention. That is that Praggnanandhaa secured a second win over Carlsen in the classification semi-final game. Okay, forcing Carlsen to resign after 43 moves. Okay, that is also in recent. Okay, that is match outcome. Despite these impressive wins, Carlsen rallied strongly, winning the reverse game and the subsequent blitz that will tie breaks 2-0 to clinch the semi-final match against Praggnanandhaa. Okay, so very important. This back-to-back victories mark a dominant performance by Praggnanandhaa over the raging world champion, showcasing his rise on global stage. Okay, this builds on his previous landmark wins, his first classical triumph over Carlsen at Norway Chess 2024 and Champions Chess Tour 2022 also. His consistent form, including third place finish here and also recent title at Tata Steel Masters and Spoke Romania, have altered him into world number 1, India's top rated player in July 2025. Okay, that is about recent Praggnanandhaa beats Magnus Carlsen. Okay, next point that is about one recent that earthquake swarm in Iceland, which led to volcanic eruption. Okay, following that intense seismic swarm early in the morning, a fissure eruption began in the that is Sundankur crater in that peninsula. Okay, Reykjanes Peninsula. The main fissure measures approximately 2.4 km with a second smaller on about 500-meter lava began flowing in that area. Okay, at 3:56 a.m. local time. Okay, this eruption promoted that is evacuation of the town Grindvik, that is around 100 people and nearby tourist facility including the Blue Lagoon Spa and campground. Okay, very important that earthquakes one and ongoing eruption in that Iceland and okay recent news. Okay, and also that impact were hazardous. That lava flows currently pose no direct threat to buildings or infrastructure, but sulfur dioxide emission were reported. Okay, and it will affect the local areas and all. Also, there is strong earthquakes form that speed volcanic eruption. It will eruption will cause evacuation in that area and also the low flow avoid build up area ongoing monitoring system and all. Okay, that is related to recent Iceland eruption and earthquakes. Next is about the latest missile test, that is Akash Prime missile test conducted by India. That is in Ladakh area, okay, high altitude area. That is Indian Army and DRDO successfully tested the Akash Prime surface to air missile system at over 15,000 feet. That is 4,500 meter in Ladakh. Okay, in the test, two high-speed unmanned aerial targets were intercepted and destroyed, making a first for a production model in such extreme altitude. The system features that indigenous radio frequency seeker and optimized for thin air, extreme cold environment, and also strategic implication and deployment. This marks trials for 3rd and 4th Akash Prime Regiment, enhancing deployment in both eastern and western high altitude borders. This successful test underlines India's Make in India defense push, showcasing its drive for indigenous technology and national security autonomy. Very important that Akash Prime already saw action under Operation Sindoor, right, where helped intercept Pakistan drones and Chinese origin aircraft. So, analysts note that trial represent a significant enhancement of India's multi-layered air defense, especially in sensitive Tibet and China. Okay, China fronts, and also why it is important because altitude-ready air defense, and also that Akash primes and India's missile shield comparing other like S-400, Akash NG, and all. Also highlight the design, produce, and deploy advanced defense system domestically. Okay, very important that region test and all. Next point that is about a tribal genome sequencing project recently launched in Gujarat. Okay, that is a biotechnology research center unveiled a state-funded initiative to map the genome of tribal population across 17 districts. The project is titled "Creation of Reference Genome Database for Tribal Population in Gujarat" and was approved under that 2026 5 and 26 state budget. Okay, and that sample size, that blood or biological samples from 4158 individuals, generating around 2000 whole genome sequence, and also tribal diversity or 20 tribal communities, including groups such as Garcia, Bill, Tadvi, Valvi, Gamit, Rathwa, and Siddhi, who trace African ancestry. Okay. And also design features that generic trios, equity, gender participation, health criteria, and all. Very important that objective and health impact, identify disease markers, and map in immunity and genetic diversity, and also enable precision public health, and also bridge tradition and science. Very important that is India's first Gujarat become first Indian state to launch genome sequencing project exclusively focused on its tribal communities. Okay, complementing national projects such as Genome India project, and also scientific innovation for inclusion, and also policy utility. Okay, very important. It's about recent that genome project and all. Next is that is last point that is University of Southampton first UGC approved global campus in India. Okay, that is University of Southampton has officially inaugurated its flagship overseas campus in Gurugram, Delhi NCR. Became first foreign university to set up full-fledged campus in India under the University Grants Commission, that is new 2023 regulation UGC. Okay, and also aligned with the NEP 2020, and also inauguration that International Tech Park, okay, in Gurugram, okay, by Indian Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan and Haryana CM. And also UGC approval that campus was the very first proposal to receive letter of intent under UGC Foreign University Framework. And also that some campus and academic that welcoming its first cohort approximately 140 to 170 students, and initial course undergraduate, postgraduate, and all. Okay, courses, and also degree standards and exchange options are there. Okay, vision that is strategic scale up and global education access, and also India UK partnership and all. And so faculty and student that is about 75 full-time academic staffs are there, and also student diversity, early reaction is very important. Okay, that is about recent news. That is Southampton, the first Indian in the campus. Okay. Very important. That is about 18th July 2025 current affairs. Thank you. Support me for further videos so that I can analyze all the topics required for UPSC and all competitive exams. Thank you.